consciously eating.
All right. New day, new video. Actually, I had the downtime of 2 days, but let's not talk about that. Today, we're gonna cast Slammer versus Zelos. I think that was the upper cast, the upper bracket. And I think it's already a best of 3, so Zelos and Slammer fought already through the bracket. And it's actually a great game, I think, because it will show us how the new guys currently fare against the old guys, like Slammer, who's a very, very old school player and very, very long time player. And I thought, well, in that occasion, we could bring in someone else who's around for a pretty long time in the little wargame cosmos and community. So, yeah, feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, little ball game. It's Guinness, and yeah, I've been around since really 2015. Was when I made my first account, which wasn't Guinness, but that's my account now. Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, I actually think this was lower bracket. I think this was the match. I'm not mistaken. It was after Slammer beat me. I think it was actually, yeah.
Oh,
So this would be lower bracket.
so they actually both dropped out versus someone. Okay, I have to check the bracket then again. Okay, then we are in the lower bracket, but I think it doesn't really matter anyways. But what do you think about this matchup? You didn't play with Zelos, I think, but with Slammer you certainly did.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm very familiar with Slammer, but no, not Zelos. I'm actually curious to see how he plays though, because I know he comes from SC2,
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure he came during the Hearthstone wave, so he's relatively new.
Yeah.
But I know he grinds ladder a lot. So.
Yes. And I think he actually introduced himself in the Discord with, "Hi, I'm a 6,000 MMR StarCraft 2 player grandmaster," and yeah, happy.
I don't know.
Happy to
I
have
don't know
him.
anything about SC2 MMR, so I don't know how high 6K is. But
Yeah, I
if
think
it's Grandmaster,
6K
then I'm sure
it's
it's
very
relatively
decent.
high.
It's very
Yeah.
decent. I think he can can take maps off of, I don't know, something like Scarlet or so. I think these players.
It's NA server, yeah.
I think so.
But we won't talk about the differences between NA Europe and Korea.
Let's not go this route.
No.
What we see here is actually
Grandmaster's very good, yeah.
Yeah. No, of course. It will show, I guess. Actually, we see the. Now we missed the opening, but I think Slammer did the fast castle too then, right?
Ooh, it's Raider.
Oh yeah, walks right into a surround and blinks into another surround. Usually
Sorry, what time are you at?
I'm at 2:53, 54,
Okay.
55.
I don't know how I'm 3 minutes in already.
What's your speed? I'm at 1.
I'm at 1 as well. Is it lagging for you?
Nope, not a single bit.
I don't know how I'm jumping ahead.
Okay, where are you right now? Just pause the game.
But I'm at 310.
310. Now I'm 311, 312.
Oh, I'm at 311 as well. All right.
Okay,
You said you paused the game, but anyway, no problem. I'll just speed up a tiny bit.
Yeah, okay.
Slow down.
Yeah, I think now 320.
320.
Yeah, perfect. All right. So now we missed again a bit, but not too bad. I think the first raider was just lost. Not sure why Zelos decided to not blink out. But yeah, Slammer now is pretty confident with the wolves and can just defend this position really well, I think. But he's actually going for a quick fortress. You think he stays on 2 base? When you go for, I mean, you're the beast player. When you go for something like very, very early dragon tech, you usually stay on 2 base or not? You would say take the third anyways.
Well, I personally would start my third right before I start the fortress.
Mm-hmm.
I would even go for a third before second house sometimes. But this build is fine. This is basically, I suppose in StarCraft 2 it would be 2 base muter equivalent, where you get the third shortly after, but he's actually going for another house before a third. So he's playing it very safe.
Yeah.
And I can appreciate that because I'd imagine Slammer considers himself a stronger player and doesn't feel the need to risk it. Also, he's got a scouting wall, so he sees no third. He doesn't really need to get his own third.
But he gets into the base, so he sees the advanced workshop, which is kind of perfectly timed versus the dragons, even though Zelos
Blind
doesn't know it
counter.
yet.
Yeah, it's a blind counter.
Yeah, so to say.
If he was like more Zelos was an old school player, like from 2015 or even earlier, there used to be a build 1 racks into quick advanced workshop and you go for quick drops. But this was before dragon rushing, I suppose, was the thing, because this is effectively a dragon rush. Although it's so common these days, getting the fortresses this quickly, that I don't even think it's considered a dragon rush anymore.
Yeah.
That's why you don't really see such early drops against these, unless it's kata drops.
Yeah, I do actually cutter drops. But actually, Zelos is. Or did he? Yeah, I think he didn't see it. He didn't see the worker here. At the third of Slammer. So yeah, I think Zelos is not aware of the third base attempt. But now we see what you just mentioned, an early drop, or maybe Zelos wanted to. Maybe he's just using the airship to micro the units.
Yeah.
Also
It's
possible.
not enough units.
Yeah.
I would personally like to see him send the airship, empty airship, to his base, Slammer's base, just to scout. Almost like a fake drop, but really you're just getting in for. Because he can't afford to send, pick up units and send them across because he can't defend his base at the same time.
Yeah. And his second Rex is, or actually the third Rex and the second Rex are very, very late for Zelos, right? He could have done a second Rex very earlier and have more units now to be able to fight this off way better. Will he use this?
Unusual third base location.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You can choose. I mean, why would you prefer the left one, which is more open and you can not as easy to defend?
More open, but it's closer, and it's harder. Dragons can from this base. Dragons can easily ping pong from the base below.
Yeah, but Zelos doesn't know. He didn't scout the base yet, so he doesn't really know what Slammer is doing. So maybe.
Well, I assume he's expecting dragons. That's why he gets the advanced workshop. Although he hasn't started the ballista yet. And let me check vision. He hasn't actually never been in his. He hasn't even seen that he's got a third.
Yeah. He messed up the scout there.
He probably thinks this is a 2-base all in, honestly, from Slammer.
Yeah, I think that would be also my assumption. I think I would not scout and be in Zelos' place. I would assume the same. I think.
I'm sure he can keep the third.
Yeah, I think he should really cancel this one. Not go through with it. Just get the resources back and then pump out units because he's on 5 racks now. So okay, he lets it go through for some reason.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can support 5 racks on 2 base.
Yeah, actually, I think it's
6. You can support 6 on 3.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can support 5 on 2.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Now he's dropping the archers actually down below. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like archers as the answer for or in the role of anti-air. I think ballistas are way superior and way better in handling everything, especially dragons.
Not even starting any.
Yeah, he's doing it with the archers. I think I already spoken with him about something like that, and he was like, archers are fine. So yeah, maybe Slammer now shows him that it's not as good.
They are fine, but not really defensively in this situation against dragons.
Yeah.
You don't want to be running off between bases and and to stop dragons. You'd rather have them on his side of the map.
Yeah.
Dragons can't really take on archers, straight up.
Look at it. Slammer is engaging. Nice worker pull here. Also the mineral walk and then go out of no collision mode and surround all the wolves there. I think the fight was really cleanly taken by Zelos, and also he was able to, I don't know, kind of scare away the dragons with the archers. Interestingly, he chooses to push over now, and I'm not too sure if I agree with that idea.
Well,
I mean,
he has to get damage done, but he's unaware of this werewolf that's about to come out.
yeah.
He's just gonna shut down this push.
Yeah, and Slammer was able to take a 4th base now.
I'm surprised Slammer's getting a tower. I mean, he's really respecting this, and
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, I guess, but he doesn't really need it. Got plenty of units, and then
Well, he doesn't have anything else than 4 dragons, and 2 of them are so badly hurt that he really kind of... Ah, yeah, okay, well, the timing of the werewolf is perfect now, right?
Yeah.
That's just
Actually,
perfect.
surprised he's still on 1 layer. But yeah, he's playing it very standard, almost as standard as you can get. You know, 1 layer, 1 werewolf den, 1 animal testing lab. Got his 4th up already. This is very solid macro play, really, from Slammer.
Yeah.
It's very safe and, you know, basic.
Yeah.
Which
And
is
very
what you
hard
should
to
do against,
abuse as well.
yeah, against newer players who show that they have good RTS knowledge, like Zelos, because he clearly seems to know what he's doing. Like he knew to, when he was losing, that he had to get damage done. That's why he's on this side of the map.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his scouting let him down. Really, he didn't
Yeah.
know about the dragons and he didn't know about the werewolves.
Yeah.
But
And
I think if
also-
he's going to, yeah,
Yeah, he also
I think if
missed his
Zelos wants to play this style,
Yeah.
I think he should obviously get a 3rd, but only after like 2 racks and constant unit production.
Well, he
At
technically
least
did.
like 55, yeah, and then get a church, because I think priests, you know, they can heal these injured archers very well.
Yeah, but 3, I think priests are a bit too expensive right now to get them, and they take
Yeah,
advantage.
right now, yeah, too expensive. He should have tried to go for that though, like after getting a 3rd. And obviously, he should have got for the
Because we were already mentioning Zelos' mechanics and his experience in RTS, it really shows. If you take a look at how he's kiting with the archers who are,
targeting weak dragons.
yeah, he's doing a good job. But I don't agree with the idea to send over units immediately. I think in his position right now, he kind of did damage, and he should really just fortify the position, get the 3rd again in the meantime, and just keep producing units and be ready for the next engage from Slammer to just get stable
Also
economically.
way too many workers for the number of bases he's on. 27.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he expected to have a 3rd, right? So.
Yeah.
And now Slammer is going over with 90 supply, and we see only a handful of archers and 57 supply.
And
And
I guess, looking at his production, I guess actually, I mean, yeah, he's queuing up units constantly. I guess if he's only on 2 base and he's not making anything else, he can support 5 racks, as you can see.
Actually.
And that means he can't get... Well, actually, he could get Ballista if he wanted to.
Yeah.
But for some reason he's not. I guess he just doesn't respect the dragons as much.
Yeah. And
To be honest,
yeah,
look what the archers are doing.
Yeah, but to be honest, the dragons so far have not been really scary. I think Slammer didn't really use them to their full potential right now.
Well, it's hard to really get harass workers effectively when it's just 2 base, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's relatively easy to defend, you know, 2 bases. If he was on the 3rd base, whichever base he took, it would have been much easier for Slammer to, like, you know, go from base to base. You know, attack the 3rd and circle around, attack the main. Or,
Look at this.
Attack the 3rd. Yeah.
Look at the split with the archers and this little engage. I mean, very, very good job. And now Slammer is abusing the dragons. And the fact that Zelos has no tower here and no ballista.
Ooh, and these dragons are flying over the archers.
Yeah. I think archers are still too bad to really have the potential to kill one of the dragons. Because their damage, even though they are in good numbers now, is still too low. Or, yeah, how you want to put it. I mean, or the dragons are just too tanky or have too much AP. But if you fly right over them, of course you lose them. I mean, come on, Slammer.
Yeah.
Prove me wrong. Yeah, just suicide your dragons. What is he doing? What's that? What's that? He's just suiciding 3 dragons.
Oh.
Okay.
You're ahead of me again. I mean, I'm ahead of you again by quite some distance. I saw those dragons die a while ago. I'm at almost 13 minutes.
How does that happen? I'm at 12:40.
I'm not sure. I'm at
41.
I'm at normal speed. I'll wait until you hit 13 minutes, then you can.
Okay. Yeah, well, I see now the werewolves and how they club away the army from Zelos. I'm at
30 minutes.
I'm at 12:55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 30 minutes. 1, 2.
Not sure why that keeps happening.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. This little war game is weird. Zelos is losing his 3rd again to just a few wolves, and he's actually maybe he can kill them with the archers and the soldier he's sending over. But yeah, the main thing is his Archer Death Ball, and it's really not as effective, especially versus werewolves. You shouldn't really have that many archers, and then the wolves, of course, but also the amount of dragons is sufficient now to deal with the archers, I think.
Yeah. He's still not. Oh, yeah, he's got 2 layers actually. All right, 2 layers, 2 werewolf, and
Yeah,
2
yeah.
labs. Yeah, he's playing it almost like this is textbook beast play. You know. In fact, he could have really started getting upgrades on 3 base, but he chose to play it very
Traditional.
economically and
Let's call it traditional.
traditional. Yeah, perhaps traditional.
Yeah, but now, I mean, that's the final push, right? 124 supply versus 52. Yeah, Zelos is mined out, sending his workers to his 3rd base, and yeah, there's nothing he can really do anymore. This one, he cannot hold this one. But look at Slammer, he's actually one-shotting workers with the dragons. And there we have it.
Look at the end. Oh, it didn't. Okay, never mind. Yeah.
What do you want to say?
No. I was trying to. I messed up. I meant to keep it on Zelos's tab so that when he surrendered, I could see the the actual units lost tab. You know.
Mm.
But instead, I kept it on Slammer, so he got eliminated entirely. You know.
Ah,
All
I
his
see. Yeah.
buildings and stuff. Yeah, added up anyway.
No problem. But actually, if you take a look,
I'm used to player 1 usually being the one on top. You know, like on Ravage.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just click player 1, and player 1 is actually on the bottom. That's
yeah,
Slammer.
actually, now that you mention, yeah, I changed that. Not sure why. I think because I started creating the map on the bottom left. But yeah, it's funny. Didn't even realize. Nice. If you actually look at the units lost count, you see that 50 wolves died and 50 archer died. I think that's. I mean, the number of 50 archers is a bit inflated because Zelos at the end had quite a few left. But still, I mean, that just shows how you just. It's a nice example to what I always say and think about beast play. You really want to trade your wolves. It's not about keeping those wolves alive, especially exceptionally in the early game, but in the mid game and in the late game, you really want to trade those wolves. That's why they cost so little and they don't really do much on their own. But if you have like a bunch of wolves and you can send them like little squads all over the map, it's just awesome. I mean, it's also very stressful and you need to do good multitasking, but it's also very, very, very. I mean, you can arguably not have a bad trade, even if you trade.
They actually take up a lot of supply because they cost the same amount of supply as archers and soldiers.
Yeah.
They Wolfsnake can just outright die. Maxed out will just die to maxed out archer soldier.
Yeah,
so the whole
but that's
idea
not
really behind.
Yeah, but that's not the idea. Like that's not your winning conditions, right?
Is to like keep them from max, or if they are max, then you don't engage them fully.
Yeah.
Unless you've got obviously werewolf dragon.
Yeah.
But even then, I think archer, soldier, ballista, priest beats werewolf dragon straight up.
Yeah.
At max out and healthy.
That's why beast is kind of tricky to play, because it's way different to mech or rex in general. You don't really want to have this final fight or get in general bigger fights with all your army versus all the army of your opponent, especially if it's not beast versus beast. So I think that's something very special about beast, because how you approach the game and how you play the game, what your game plan in general is a bit different to when you play very, very rex heavy or mech heavy. So yeah, I really.
Well, dragons really are harassment units, and I see them as that first. So if there's an engagement happening, at my doorstep, and I don't think I can engage with the dragons because he's got ballista, I'm not going to even feint or poke. I'm just going to send my dragons across the map and try and kill as many workers as possible. And if it becomes a base trade, then so be it. Beast generally does well in base trade because its units are faster, and obviously dragons flying units.
Yeah. Also, the attack speed of the units, except for dragons, is I think in general very high and very, very fast. So you really can rack buildings really fast if you have the surface area, of course, because the wolves need to be in melee range.
Well, perhaps not as fast as Archer Soldier. I don't think Wolfsnake kills buildings as quickly as Archer Soldier. I
think so.
But I don't think so. I mean, they do less damage. Obviously, Snake have high DPS, but And soldiers especially, they just do so much damage to buildings.
Yeah,
I don't really
soldiers are
think they
crazy.
beat
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I
But then
really need to
again,
test it.
yeah, generally as beast, the whole idea is to stay at least a base ahead of your Rax
Yeah.
opponent. So
Yeah.
it's easier to base trade. You can have more sufficient mining later on, and you can just spread buildings everywhere.
No
Much
need
easier.
to leave the game if you lose a castle, because you have four other castles and your opponent has only 3. So yeah,
Although it's
you're
always
still good.
important, I feel much more with beast than with Rax.
Yeah.
To not build too many buildings in one spot, and to try and never do that. Like even sometimes, I think before it used to be common to like build all your important structures in your main base, so your
Yeah.
layers and your labs.
Yeah.
Try and have them with houses to like protect them, reduce surface area. But I think even that is like nowadays. I think it's better to just spread them across. You will
Yeah.
lose some to some attacks, but you won't lose them all in one.
And you want to stay producing, right? So
Yeah, so like never build 2 werewolf dens in the same spot. Never build 2
Yeah.
layers or labs in the same spot even.
Yeah.
I keep doing that because I sort of like that's old-fashioned play, and I'm more used to that style. But yeah, I try and adapt and not do that because I've lost to Weird Rat before when he does one of his famed pushes, just pushes and into the natural, and I've got all my important structures there and I can't defend. Yeah, it's the worst way to lose, really, because you just feel like you've been stabbed in the heart.
But it's no shame to lose versus Weird Rat. He's an awesome player.
No. Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the second game. I like Ravaged way less than Ice Cold, and I think but I think the map is balanced. But I think you you told me already that you are of the opposite opinion.
Well, because I play Beast, and the map is quite small, it's not very wide, so whichever expansion you take, it's easy for the Rax player to push. I've just lost to Weird Rat too many times on this map. I'm not convinced it's all that balanced.
Yeah.
And that's not to take away from Weird Rat, but even before he got to this level where he's now undoubtedly better than me, he was beating me quite often on this map and less so on other maps. I'm not even talking about Stream. I'm talking about maps like I think Cursed was one of them. It's got a small resistance, but obviously that's easily defendable. That bridge kind of walling or just having a concave. Yeah. And Silent Fjord. I felt that map was big enough where.
Yeah. But that's also very that's heaven for Beast players, because you have so much islands where you can just go on top with the wolves and just wait for his army to move past, and then you just encircle the whole army of him. So yeah, but let's not talk about.
Player, don't expect me to point out maps that are Beast players. As being Beast.
Yeah, no. In general, no. In general, Beast is considered the worst race or play style, and of course, there's no map favored for Beast. Of course, I
really by who? Oh, by the way, forget about that anyway. We've got the third den coming up very quickly.
Actually, we should really talk about the game and what Zelos is doing. I mean, I'm still showing it.
I'm not sure how this. I've never seen this before. Third den immediately after 2 den, like he hasn't even started his second house.
Yeah. So he will be supply blocked pretty soon.
Yeah.
But he's actually also not going over with the first wolf. He's
actually this could work to his advantage. Slammer may think this is the 2 den, and he may think that the second den has just finished, and he's already got 2 more wolves on the way. So Slammer could over or underreact to this rather, but he is making a tower and he's pulling enough workers for now. I feel like Slammer is one who you saw him with the worker scout. He does that often.
Yeah.
He likes to be very safe,
and he doesn't like cheats.
He never really. Yeah, I feel like you actually never really catch him underreacting. You can catch him overreacting a few times, but never underreacting. So this actually.
But the tower is in general is, I think, a good answer, because the dens are so close and.
Well, actually, now I think about it, it's proxy den. So even if he thinks those are the 2 dens, the only 2 dens, he's not going to.
Oh, and he lost already the first raider.
Yeah.
But he got his second one. But still, I mean, losing a raider is huge when facing a double den, especially if it's proxy. But if you have 3 dens against you, that's even worse, I think.
He's killing a good few wolves, and he hasn't lost many workers so far.
Yeah.
While he's
yeah, and the tower gets up. I mean, the tower is up. Usually
Yeah.
that's GG. But let's see how Zelos thinks and what's his
Well,
plan
because
is
he's
now.
got 3 den, I would like to see him start on a Snake Charmer and just fully commit.
Yeah.
Slammer still hasn't seen the other den, so he doesn't know it's 3 den. He doesn't know this is. I mean, he must know it's committed because of the proxy dens, but
Yeah.
he may still underestimate how many wolves Zelos can pump out.
Yeah.
So yeah, hasn't got a lot at the moment,
but he lost already 6 wolves. That's huge.
Yeah.
But also he killed 2 workers and a raider. So now he has 5 wolves and he can really chase.
Well, good thing for him. The raiders are fairly low. At least one of them is.
Yeah.
So Slammer can't really poke. I don't even think he's confident enough to like send a raider to scout.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
again, I keep forgetting
because...
this is basically proxy 2 then. So like, what is their aid to scout? You know, you could just be making units, but who knows?
I would like to see the next house at this point from Zelos. Otherwise, he's gonna get supply blocked again.
Yeah. And again, I would really like to see a... Oh, he catches a raider.
Wait, where are you? What is your timestamp right now?
I'm just 4:30.
Okay, I'm 4:25. Only now the raider was catched, but now the second one is catched, and I'm at 4:30. So Slammer lost 2 raiders now, and Zelos has really a chance.
If only he had a house in production, you know. He probably, maybe, I'm not sure if he's thinking like this, but I know sometimes when I used to 2-den a lot, when I was a cheeser back in the day, regular cheeser, I learned that actually, you know, when you 2-den or sometimes when you're doing these committed builds, you don't make extra houses. You just shove in with units and you expect to lose them, and then the units you have queued will, you know, end up stop producing once you lose.
That's the plan.
So maybe that was the idea, but I do feel like he could have made a house and should have, or at least a snake charmer for the option of to going snakes.
I mean, now he can't produce wolves anyways, so he should really, because he's waiting for the finishing of the house. So he should really. I mean, I would. If he gets snakes now, right now, and the snake chamber would be done now, that would be the perfect timing.
Because look at the supplies.
Yeah.
If he had snakes now, I actually think he could, at the very least, rush that tower. You know.
Yeah. And I think if the tower is down, he can just move in, and he can just move up.
Yeah. Yeah, he can only get like 4 wolves attacking the tower, but if he had snakes, he could run them up close, you know, shoot it down. I think he could kill it.
Yeah.
And he has enough wolves, he could have had those protecting the snakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that's what would have happened, you know, like with what's happening right now is that he's not making snakes, unfortunately, and he's in fact making another house, so he's not planning on expanding. And why would he? I mean, he's got these 2 dens that are very exposed. No. If Slammer builds up an army, he can just easily take them out.
Yeah. The thing is, Slammer's
still only,
is awesome. Like the SimCity, the placement of the house is awesome. He can just block with 2 raiders there, and it's the tower will shoot all the time. He can always repair because the surface area of the tower is very, very little. So that's.
Well, because he's going dragons, he doesn't have many units, you know. He probably, you know, I was talking about how Slammer plays safe generally, but this is very unsafe, I feel. You know, proxy 2-den and he's only producing out of 1 Rax, and I don't think that tower can actually die like that. Not with those few wolves.
Yeah,
maybe he's fine. Actually.
I think with repairing this tower lives too long. Okay, he moves in, but yeah, the 2 raiders just blocking the entry, and first wolf's already dead, and now he's in the worker line, and now the worker surround and attack, and look at these archers. I mean, nice archer movement here to have them not attacked. And firing all the time, and Slammer didn't even lose a worker. Didn't lose a raider yet.
Starting to lose quite a few workers. I'm not sure if their whole position doesn't look like it because they're moving towards the wolves.
Yeah, I think he moved.
Zelos doesn't even need to like focus fire workers. The wolves are just auto killing them, you know.
Yeah, but
I think that's a mistake. He's losing a lot of workers.
Yeah, but he lost 31 wolves until that point, and he only killed 7 workers, and I think. You want to have at least 10 workers dead. And the dragons, at least the first one is coming out.
Yeah, I do like the fact that he made a tower in his main, just in case. Look at the low health workers he's got there.
Yeah.
Because I think actually Zelos, when he got through, I think he should have just actually run to the main. He probably couldn't remember, but he had there were low health workers there.
Yeah.
Which he could have sniped, but then some already put a tower there. So very good thinking from Slammer. Forward thinking. He predicted the worst perhaps, and he prepared for the worst anyway.
But the dragon is flying over. I think the moment Zelos sees the dragon, he may try a last attempt or something. But
what is this, a workable?
Yeah, I think that's the last stand I was talking about. He's trying
the
one
dragon
last.
is
I think the dragon will kill all of them until they arrive.
Yeah.
I think.
It's a shame, really, because I truly believe he could have won this game quite comfortably as well.
Yeah. Slammer lost so many raiders.
I guess you could call it actually a build order win. Technically, it should have been build order win for Zelos.
Yeah, but now he's moving in, and the wolves are just they are not even getting in that much or that deep. So
the reason why I thought maybe this is a build order win was because of how close he was to winning. Even after I feel he didn't have the best macro behind this and could have gone snakes, but he was still very close to winning this game. So I feel like actually he had a very good chance here, Zelos. I think maybe just more practice with this build.
Yeah.
I would have to test it. I still haven't tested it myself, but I would have to test this build of his where he gets a third den before a second house.
I think I tried this build versus Heavy today. An ice cold.
This same build?
Yeah. Well, my own version. Didn't pay too much attention to his build order, but he was supply blocked anyways. So I tried to be not supply blocked and be able to produce constant wolves. And I think I was 3-denning versus Heavy. And I just focused on the 1-den I saw on the lower ground, on the natural, instead of going up. If I go up, I win the game, And he was doing 1-den, I think, the normal opening. So I think it's a great build and really worth trying. So Zelos is onto something here.
Well, him proxying those 2 dens reminds me of an old build again, where you used to, back in the day, before raiders existed, you would proxy 2 den, and you would send the 2 workers with the first few wolves to attack. It was actually quite powerful because they
workers were stronger back then, right?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if they were stronger or wolves were weaker. But anyway, that was a legit build back then. I haven't seen it used since, but I could actually try it on someone one day.
Let's just give it a
see
try.
How good it is.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I ought to try it on square root.
Yeah, that's the ultimate test. Yeah.
If I manage to beat him with that build, then that would mean maybe I can bring the build back into the meta.
Yeah, would be awesome. And then we call it the Zelos build.
Yeah. Well, definitely he gets props for that. But,
Awesome. Yeah, cool. That concludes the best of 3 because Slammer won 2 games out of a best of 3. So Slammer advanced, as he did in the bracket. I thank you for joining today, for the little video, and see you next time. I think tomorrow you will be online as well, so we may play.
Well, actually, I don't think I will be tomorrow.
No, really? Okay.
Yeah, because I got some stuff to do actually. I mean, I may pop on, but I don't think I could do a voice call or anything like that, or even maybe play any games.
That doesn't matter.
No. Anyway, thanks for having me. This was my first little war game cast, and hopefully we'll do more. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very much. Yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Cool.
I was interested to see Zelos play because I hadn't seen him play before, and always interested to see Slammer because I haven't mentioned this, but he's actually the reason I found out about the little war game.
Oh, so Slammer is the one.
Yeah, I came across one of his YouTube videos. I'm not sure how I came across it because I hadn't done anything in relation to little war games specifically, but one of his videos got recommended at one point just in the YouTube algorithm, and I
thank you to the algo.
So yeah. So thank you to Slammer then, because
thanks to a great video, I guess.
Kind of why I discovered this game. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, I owe him a lot. Yeah.